Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. My name's Edie Anna. I'm an independent superstar director with Scentsy for about 13 years. I got my mama Nana hair happening today. That means I got stuff to do. I know that you all can relate. I want to talk to you about leaving a legacy for your children. If you got mom hair, then you got children. Some of that is not monetary, meaning that it's not about money. That it's about leaving a memory for your child or your children that will carry them through after you're gone, right? As we get older, I find that that's something that I think about often. Meaning that I want to make sure that when I leave this earth, that there's going to be memories that will take my children and my grandchildren to their grave. And, you know, it'll be stories. It will be memories of things we did or things I said. Because I'm actually finding that I do those things now about my parent. One of my parents is passed. My grandparents are all gone. So it's like I hold on to the memories and the thoughts and the sayings that they said or they did or they had or they created or whatever. And so one, that is a very important thing. That is something that I'm working very hard at making sure that when they think of Nana or they think of mom, that it's good stuff. It's, you know, memories that are kind of creating this space in their heart of love and gratitude. Yeah. So that's really important for me. And I'm working on it. I'm not perfect at it by all means, at all. And I can't undo, unfortunately, the things that were done in the past. You know, I was very grateful to know that one of the things that my kids did not remember about me is that I'm a yeller. I don't know, some conversations happened this past week over the holiday and I was like, okay, good. I can undo that. I can redo that. And that's the blessing of being a grandparent, is all of the shitty things that you did as a mom or a parent, you can undo them as a grandparent. I love it. But I want to also talk about the legacy of monetary value. Not everybody can buy a life insurance. Not everybody has 401ks. Not everybody has things of that value that can be left behind after your passing, right? It's just not all feasible for everybody. Some people do, and that's wonderful. That's a great way to be able to leave a legacy, leave something behind for your family to help them. One of the things, yeah, here we go. We're going to talk about Scentsy. One of the things that I love about Scentsy is that it is what we call, or what is called, willable. Not all companies have the ability to do that. I know for a fact when I worked in the corporate world as a computer teacher and pharmacy technician and all of those wonderful jobs that I had, that wasn't a willable job. If I passed, that's not something I could pass on to my kids. The job was eliminated or replaced by somebody else, and that was it. But with my Scentsy business, I have the ability to put it in my will that when I pass, it will go to so-and-so. In my case, it's my daughter. She's already my business partner, but if she wasn't my business partner, I still have the ability to will it to her. I could will it to my grandchildren and say, if Marissa and I both pass, then it goes to one of the girls or both of the girls. So that to me is a huge deal, and I'll explain why, because if you're not in Scentsy, maybe you just don't understand what that means. As a business within Scentsy, or direct sales for that matter, we are building our business on sales and building our teams. And so, well, we don't get paid on building our teams. I want to clarify that. We only get paid if they do anything, if they sell anything. And so it's very much like a store where you have associates and then you have assistant managers, and all of them could be commissioned on the sales of that store. And typically the sales manager is going to make more based on the sales that their team is doing, that their associates are doing. Okay, so that's kind of the basis of how we get paid. Now, when I worked at Limited, and I was a sales manager, I didn't have the ability to will that to my children, my assistant manager position. I didn't have the ability to pass that on to my family. With Scentsy, I can. And so the beauty of that is, as I've built a customer base and as I've built a team, and the income that I am creating and making by the combination of the two, that entire unit can be willed to somebody else. If you don't will it, what happens, and this is what happens in a lot of direct sales businesses, the unit rolls up to the person that sponsored me or to the next person in line, okay? And so by me passing, it just eliminates that piece, and those people go to the person that's above me. Now, if I will it, they're going to stick somebody else in my place rather than allowing it to just go to the next person, right? So, and that happens a lot. If people quit and they have a team and they have customers, then what happens is that entire unit goes to the person that's next in line. So if you look at a store, then the associate, or let's say the assistant manager quits, then all of the associates now have to report to the store manager rather than assistant manager, unless they replace the assistant manager. And so in the case of being willable, we're replacing that person so that you don't have to report to somebody else. That's not been put in there. Does that make sense? So I think that it's important to understand. I don't know what other direct sales businesses do that. I do know that Scentsy does. And so if you put it in your will, let's say you have a living will, and you put it in your will that your Scentsy business, which I have one and mine is set up, it will be willed to the person you assign, and then they run it and reap the benefits from it. So, I mean, the biggest difference, obviously, is that a willable business means that the person who's getting it has to work it, right? You're not just getting the value of the business, you're actually getting the business. And I guess that's no different than a family business. I look at Ben's logging business, and if he were to pass, it's willed to his son, and his son has to work the business. Now, he has the opportunity to sell the business, and so would the person that inherited the Scentsy business. They would have the opportunity to sell that business. So it's either they work it or sell it. That's how they would gain the value from that business. Now, here's the beauty. Looking at the situation with me and Marissa, when I pass and she takes over the business, she may have a different way of running the business that's even better than mine and ends up blowing up her business even better than I did, right? So there is some potential to get more value out of the willed business. I think that it's important to understand that option is there. I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm not saying that I'm going anywhere soon, but you never know what can happen in life, right? You never know. And if I have it set up that this business goes to my daughter, then when I pass, those people don't have to report to the person above me. They get to report to Marissa, which is going to stay in the family, right? So I think that's important to know. I wanted to share that. You can leave a legacy to your family. And I think a legacy should be both memory related as well as monetary. And so I just felt compelled to share that with you guys today. And if you are not a Sensi consultant and you want to be, I'd love to have you be part of our crew, our unit. And if you are a Sensi consultant and you didn't know that information, then now you do. All right, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.